Welcome to Security in Minutes, a micro-learning series from Safer Edge, where we introduce or explain a security topic in 2 minutes. Click subscribe to get a new micro-learning in your feed each week. You've probably heard of physical first aid. But what is psychological first aid? Psychological first aid is intended to assist people in an emergency situation, to cope with what has occurred or is occurring. Psychological first aid also helps people to regain control that they may have lost during a difficult event. Just like you don't have to be a doctor to provide physical first aid, you don't have to be a mental health specialist to provide psychological first aid. Psychological first aid consists of 3 basic steps. 1. Make contact and communicate. 2. Assess. 3. Transition. Let's go over each of these. First, the psychological first aid responder will make sure they and the other person are physically safe. The responder introduces themselves and explains why they are speaking with the person. They will be patient, calm, and as factual as they can be. They will also respect the affected person's privacy if they do not wish to speak or share. Next, the responder begins assessing based on what the affected person says. Much like physical first aid, the responder's actions or recommendations will be influenced by what the affected person does or says. For example, does the individual know where they are? What has happened? And can they function and interact with others? Can they meet their basic need, like getting home, to shelter, or medical care? Is it possible for them to contact someone who can help them, like a friend, family member, or a supportive organization? During this assessment, the responder will comfort the affected person and help them to feel more calm or grounded. They might identify ways to prevent further harm. They will consider information, services, or social support that they could help connect the person to. Finally, because psychological first aid is a one-time, non-professional intervention, it should not be considered an ongoing relationship, especially if the person in need requires professional support. The responder will connect the person to ongoing support and then leave the situation. If you want to learn more about providing psychological first aid, consider taking a certified course, or look at some of the resources in the video description below. Safer Edge provides engaging, affordable, on-demand e-learning in multiple languages that can be customized to your organization. Send us an email to learn more.